was great fun here last night. It was very festive. It was a night of Indian delicacies with some American flavor to it as well. As the White House last night, President Obama and Mrs. Obama hosting the Indian Prime Minister Singh and his wife. It was an evening under the stars, a large tent out on the South Lawn. So a lot of folks want to know, how did it go? We have with us now Sally Quinn, a columnist for the Washington Post and also author of the weekly column, The Party. Welcome.
Well, I should ask you how it went. I mean, you were there. We were all just pressing our noses to the window.
It was something else. But I know you have talked to a lot of people and you are in the know. What are people telling you?
Well, I think that people were extremely pleased by the way it went, as I know the Obamas were, because I know they have been working really hard on this for at least 2 months. I mean, and there was a lot of sort of tension as the day got nearer. And you can imagine everybody in the world wants to get invited to these parties, and they only have a certain number of seats. And so it's really crunch time when they have to start making decisions, and they get input from the State Department and from the National Security Advisor, from all of the cabinets, from the political people who want the fundraisers, and then they want to bring in people from the arts. And so you've got people, begging to get invited, and people who get upset when they're not invited. I think the interesting thing for me is the number of White House staffers they had at this party.
Wasn't it?
I've never seen so many people from the White House staff and people in the administration. And I think that's really a sort of payback to everyone for saying this has been a horrible year. We know you all have been working overtime, and this is a way we're going to sort of honor you for that, as well as, I mean, it was almost looked like a White House office party. When I looked at the guest list, I saw so many people who actually worked for the president.
So that's one difference. Did you notice any other differences or heard of any other differences between previous state dinners and other administrations?
I think there were a lot more African Americans than you would normally see. There were fewer Republicans than I would have imagined, although I know some of them turned it down. There were a number of fundraisers, but I think that there were a lot of fundraisers who didn't get asked, who were probably not very happy this morning. But I think that they did it in a very relaxed way. I think you and I were talking earlier and saying how comfortable they were. I think the Obamas are very comfortable themselves, and they make their guests feel comfortable. You don't, I mean, it's a big deal to go to a White House state dinner. And I think a lot of people are very nervous, and how am I going to behave? Yesterday, somebody asked me, it's going to be in a tent, should I wear my fur coat and boots?
Oh,
and I said, this is not like any tent you've ever seen before. You know, you don't need fur coat and boots for this, but people just don't know quite what to expect. And so I think when they see that it's really a dinner, it's just a party, but it is to honor somebody who is a very important ally and a friend of ours.
A very important ally. And it was a very relaxed atmosphere, but still very elegant. One quick question, of course, the dress. It was an Indian designer who designed Michelle Obama's dress.
Right. And Naeem Khan, and I want that dress really badly. I asked him last night, I said, is there another one out there? Because I thought it was one of the most beautiful dresses I've ever seen. The way when she walked, the way it sort of flowed and the way it glistened, and it was just the most graceful, beautiful dress. And I think the choice of designers was perfect, too.
It was a perfect night in many ways. Sally Quinn, thank you. You're the perfect guest.
Thank you.
We appreciate it so much. And happy Thanksgiving, happy holiday. I know you're about to head out of town. So thank you for spending a little time with us. We certainly do appreciate that.